Hi, so exposing for the shadows and the sky can sometimes be a little bit of a balancing act, can't it? This shot on the left was just the very first photo that I'd taken before I got my settings on the camera right. As you can see, obviously the sky is completely bleached out. And then I adjusted, and I exposed for the midtones, which left well, I would say the midtones to the highlights, which obviously left the shadows dark, but I knew that I could lift these, and I would still have some information in the sky to pull through. I decided afterwards I don't like this edit because the sea looks a horrible colour, but I like what it did to the sky. So these are edited in Lightroom, and I really enjoyed putting some in black and white. I think that black and white works really well for this shoot. One of the things that I was aware of at the time of the shoot was, do you see how the rock face is kind of dissecting Steve's legs here? So from a bit of a distance you can see that his legs are kind of cut off at the shin, and this is why I lightened the rock and left his trousers darker so that you could see his legs over the rock. But in some of the images on the back of the camera at the time of shooting, it just looked like his legs were sort of cut off at the shin. So I was carefully moving around to try and prevent this, and try and get as low as possible from the point of view of the viewpoint of the image, to get as low as possible so that it looked like he was standing on top, if you like, so there was less rock behind him. It was also really difficult to find a position where one of Steve's feet weren't behind this other part of the rock, but it would have been dangerous to get him too near the edge. So as you can see here, I've taken a lower viewpoint and you've got more of his legs, but it was still important to lighten the rock and make it obvious, that his legs stood out even when they're on the rock. Now I wanted to share this one because I like the drama in the sky and the rocks of this image, and this was probably, knowing me, a little bit of dehaze, maybe some clarity, and it's great for what it's done to the sky and the sea and the rocks. But do you see how over sharpening or using filters that are quite dramatic, it's not complementary on the skin? Do you see that? I've had this with myself. Somebody photographed me on my motorbike once, and they wanted to make the motorbike look really dramatic, but it did the same to my face, and honestly every single thing was just sharpened and it was horrendous, really. So it's really important to get that balance and to take off any filters or over sharpening off of somebody's face in this way. As I say, I'm used to using Photoshop. Lightroom is a different thing, and I haven't probably got to grips with Lightroom in this way yet, but it was just, I left it like that to show you. So here's another example, but I wanted more detail in the sky, and you can clearly see how the images that don't have this filter on, which brings to life the rock and the sky, Steve's face is a lot softer and smoother, and he looks like him. So really paying attention as a photographer when you're editing your photos to just look out for these things. But the sky was a bit of a balancing act to get it right, because it was very easy to lose any detail that there was in the sky. So the filters on Lightroom are brilliant for this, and you can select the background in Lightroom and only edit that, but I have done that to these images, but I found again it sometimes wasn't that accurate. So you can end up with parts of the subject being filtered as well. So yeah, just playing around with the editing tools. What do you think? Do you like these photos? I wouldn't give these as a set to as a finished set to a client. I would definitely go in and make those corrections before handing anything over. I hope you like them. I hope you like the behind the scenes footage, which I find quite amusing because I was quite scared going up this rock face. But these are the shoots that just leave you with the best memories, you know, the ones that are slightly out there. Maybe there's a bit more spur of the moment, the light's right and you just go for it, or they're just in these unusual places, and that's the fun of it, you know. I'm absolutely loving getting out and doing more photo shoots like this, just in places that I haven't been to, or just anywhere out in nature. It's absolutely incredible what you can do in nature with your photography, and I highly recommend it if you're used to working in the studio or you're used to working in a certain way. Just to get out there and get out of your comfort zone and go and try something a little bit out of the ordinary. I'm not saying climb around on a rock face near the sea, but you know, even just in the forest down the road, it is really magical how nature can create the scene for us. And we've just got to follow our nose and follow our passion and our inspiration and just go for that wander and just take a chance and just see what presents itself, and just spend time looking at the light, looking at the shapes around you, crafting a composition in your mind before you take the image. Just look, just follow your eyes and enjoy the scenery, and then delve in and create. There is nothing better, in my opinion, for the soul than just this this wind in the hair feeling of getting out there with the camera, and particularly with another creative, and you're both doing the thing that makes you happy. You're both doing your creative passion, and you're creating something together from those hobbies that you love to do. It's just absolutely magical. It really is. So how can you expand on what you're already doing? How can you give your photography this element of the feeling of freedom, the feeling of boundless creation with no rules, nobody looking over your shoulder telling you what to do, just creation. I would love to hear from you. Love to hear your experiences and your ideas, and I really appreciate all the comments, and I always read them. I might not always respond fully to all of them just because there's so many, but I absolutely love to see what you're up to. So thank you, and I will see you again soon. Bye.